Hello everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there today. I wanted to record a video for you to refresh our memories for some of my classes of yesterday's lesson and then continue on to give you a little bit of help as you move on into today's lesson 5. So some of my classes left off on number 2. Then Kieran deposited some money into his account. So if you recall, Kieran started off at $8 from the previous problem and added some amount of money, but we don't know how much money that is, and we know that the total is going to be $28. So check your equations. 8 plus that variable, remember that's a letter, equals $28 total. That's the balance. See the vocabulary words on the whiteboard for help. Then when we solve that, it says from 0 to 8, and then we're adding another amount of money to get to $28, we would have to add $20. Moving on to number 3, then starting from that $28 that he had in his account, he spent $34 on lunches this week. How much was in his account then? So 28 plus a negative 34 equals P. Doesn't matter what letter you use. So we went from 0 to 28, but then we spent $34, so we'll have to go all the way back and past 0 to negative $6. So if you think about it, how much more will I need from 28 to 34? 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, that would be $6. And it's negative now because he owes some money. Then going on from that negative $6, said he wanted to deposit just enough money to pay off his debt to the cafeteria. How much did he deposit? Well, if he's starting with negative 6, remember if you don't want those parentheses, you do not have to have those, plus Q, just a random variable, equals 0, because we want to have just enough money to pay off the debt. So when we do that, we get an answer of $6. So the bottom line is saying that's what he owed. Then he's paying back exactly that amount of money. Notice how these arrows kind of overlap one another. It's like they're canceling each other out. Then if you look at number 5, I wanted you to have some type of answer along the lines of, it makes sense that his balance is negative because he must pay back a positive amount of money to get to 0 and stop owing money. If you had said something along the lines of a negative number represents owing some money, and it wouldn't make sense to have a positive because that would represent that you would have the money that you do not have. So then some of my classes started at this point where we were talking about this bank statement. A couple of things to look at, to notice, or to wonder, and I can answer some more questions for you when I return. We're looking at the descriptions. So in a bank statement, they'll say what the thing is that you spent money on or what was withdrawn. And so this wire transfer, you can think of that as like a digital transfer of money. So if I were to go and buy something on Amazon, I would send the money from my checking account online to the Amazon company. And then check numbers, if you write a check, each check has a single number that you can refer to because typically in bank statements it only comes up with check number this. Now my credit union, I know, takes a nice picture of that check, so I'm able to look back onto what that was. So we're going to look at these withdrawal columns. Withdraw means, again, taking out money from your bank account. So withdrawing money, if you wrote a check, that's going to take money out. A wire transfer is going to take money out. Going to the grocery store is going to take money out. Writing another check is going to take money out. An online payment of phone services, so that's going to be like a cell phone, that's going to take money out. Deposits are money that you put into the bank. So deposits, $45 of cash, and yes, you could put cash into ATMs. Typically that's done at the ATMs at the banks or the credit unions. Funds transfer from savings. Funds means money. So money that you're transferring from your savings account. So think back on last chapter when we talked about having a savings account. So having to transfer some money over. Now you'll notice the previous balance. So this was only from October 1st, 2017 to November 1st, 2017. So September 30th, they started with $39. Then taking out some money, you're going to end up with $11. Putting in some money, now you have $56. Taking out some money, Now you have $18, taking out some money, $2. So subtraction, some addition, some more subtraction, subtraction. Depositing money would be addition, because if you look, $2, that's not enough money to have in your checking account. So putting in some more money from your savings. So then adding some money, spending it. Now spending more money than what you have. So this Andre person had $10 in as the balance of their account. They withdrew $72 to pay for that cell phone, and now they're at a negative balance. So negative amounts of money means that you owe it. So their account has negative $62.47. So if we move on to those questions on the sheet that I would like you to answer, is if we put withdrawals and deposits in the same column. So if this wasn't separate, if it was together, how can you represent those amounts of money? So really straightforward question. Don't overthink this. How would you represent withdrawing money? How would you represent depositing money if it was in one column? Then I want you to answer the question for number 2. Andre withdraws $40 to buy a music player. What's his new balance? So withdrawing means you're taking money out, you're spending money. Think about what we have to do if we're spending money. What's his ending balance? So remember, he has negative $62.47. He's going to withdraw $40. Then I want you to answer, if Andre deposits $100 in his account, will he still be in debt? And how do you know? So depositing means you're putting money into your account. Will he still be in debt? How will you know? So I want you to either write it as a sentence, explain it as a equation, or as a number line. If you are interested in doing the Are You Ready for More? You can go to the US Debt Clock, and I will link this as well on Google Classroom. So this is in the national debt. If you hover over these, they're going to give you descriptions of the different things and the different amounts, and it's pretty cool, at least just to look at and watch the numbers change, if nothing else. I know that in social studies you looked at something similar to the spending, so you are able to look at that. I'll link that, and that will help you figure out the Are You Ready for More question. Just take it as far as this $22 trillion. So hundred thousands, millions, billions, trillion dollars. If you hover over this, those little panels change. So you'll notice debt per citizen. You'll notice all of that stuff. All right, moving over to now today's lesson. We're going to look at subtracting some numbers. Oops. If I can get there. Oh, forgot. I want you to then pick up, it's a yellow half sheet on the table in the front, buying a bike. Claire has $150 in her bank account. She buys a bike for $200. What is Claire's bank account balance now? Then problem number 2, if Claire earns $75 in the next week from delivering newspapers and deposits, remember what deposits means, it's up on the whiteboard as well, what will her account balance be then? So I want you to put both this yellow half sheet and the white sheet into the basket once you are done, and then you can watch the next video for today's lesson. Thank you.